Hello and welcome to Wozedu.com. We're joined by Mr. Steve White-Cooper, former England and Harlequins rugby player. Thanks for coming along this morning.
Pleasure, great to be here.
Good. Just going to have a little chat with you about really your story, career, past and present, because I know it's changed a lot in the last few years. The rugby side of it, and then going on to your business life, and now as an entrepreneur as well with your own business. So tell us a bit about how it started, because I know you were born abroad and then you came over at a fairly young age and then got into professional sport, but I'll let you tell us a little bit more.
Absolutely. I came to school here, as you said, at the age of 8. We're a South African family. Did the school stuff, did the university. Whilst being at university, rugby went professional. On graduating, played 5 years. My club was Harlequins, played England A, played a couple of times for England. Got out at the age of 27 to sort of secure a long-term future. Can
you tell us a bit more about why you thought, right, at 27, I've had my time and I'm going to move on? What was the thought process behind that?
I always wanted to secure a long-term future. I love my rugby. I built fantastic friends, had amazing experiences right around the world. But I suppose for me it was about locking down a long-term career. I actually initially got involved in insurance, didn't really enjoy it, took a bit of time out, and then sort of fell into executive search. Got interviewed by the owner of a business. I didn't think I particularly impressed him, but somebody twisted his arm, and I think he took a punt. I think I worked hard, but it was a growing business, and I was able to grow with it.
What's the name of the business? How much input do you have? Is it all you? Where are you up to with it?
Just to give you a little bit of background to it, when I left the firm I've been working for, I set up the first firm called Aptus Consulting, which again focused on banks, predominantly within the capital market space. But when speaking with HR and senior management, the whole question over lateral hiring and diversity came up. And obviously in a prior life I'd been a sportsman, and I felt that there were a lot of characteristics of top athletes that actually applied to business.
So picking up on that point, we're talking about like a jobs void potentially being created from pro sport into work itself. So would you think that void is like massive and huge and it was almost impossible to fill before you came along?
I think there wasn't the support structure in place, and the whole point behind Advicta is literally about trying to enable an athlete to pursue their dreams, but gaining that structured work experience and have that exit strategy post-professional sport. So yes, we are about finding jobs for people post their professional careers, but actually more than that, we're about enabling them to gain that experience whilst in sport.
Oh, I see. So maybe you pick up a young, talented athlete in their teens. So, if you are like young and watching this and thinking, right, I want to be an athlete, but how long can I do it for? Then maybe they could approach Advicta if they've got something about them, and maybe you could help them.
Absolutely. That's a great example. If you take one of the ladies on our books that we're actually actively helping now, she got a bronze medal in the games, 2-1 from a top university, and she would like to do another cycle, compete in Rio in 2016, and then look for a full-time job post Rio.
Steve's actually got a 100% win record in an England jersey. That's fantastic. I can't think of many others who do, apart from people with just one cap.
Well, played 2-1 too, so yeah.
Coming off the back of being gripped by like Olympic fever, obviously the cyclist that you're representing is like a prime example of someone who really does need that help if we want to sustain that success and then get people back to work at the same time. Have you got anyone else that you're interested in picking up at the moment? Do you get out to events quite a lot to scout?
Absolutely. We're meeting inspirational people on a daily basis, and for us, talent is viewed as anyone with strong academics combined with inspirational life experience. We cover 50-odd sports, and so you can imagine on a daily basis you meet some incredible people, and that could be Olympians, Paralympians, right the way through to rugby cricketers, right across the board.
So, by the way, if you are watching this and you're thinking, right, this is something that I really want to get involved in, where can young people find out more? Can they contact you directly through your business? What's the contact details?
Probably the easiest thing is to go via our website, which I believe sort of summarises quite nicely what we're all about, and it really is down to those individuals. And as you mentioned, we're about athletes and also the armed forces. And the armed forces comes on the back of Iraq and Afghanistan. These are individuals who have sacrificed extraordinary things to do what they've done. And we're about enabling them to find a pathway to a long-term second career.
And what's the website?
It's www.ad-victor.com.
Oh, there we go. He got the plug-in look. Of course he did. Moving on, though, talking about the service, Wozedu.com. It's a great way for young people who want to train, retrain, go into education to, swap thoughts, ideas, get opportunities. Lots of big companies are getting involved. Can you imagine when you were coming out of rugby, if there was something like this around? Maybe if you weren't so fortunate to meet people through the sport, that this service could have done for you. What could it have done to have boosted your opportunities?
Absolutely. In my mind, it does two things. One is access, seeing the opportunities that are available. And secondly, the big one is sharing experiences. And that could be sharing experiences with individuals who've gone through that experience, whether they've been studying or actually made their transition into a proper full-time job.
Talking of experiences, obviously you've had an amazing career so far, some great experiences I'm sure with the rugby. Lightening it up a little bit, tell us some of your amazing experiences that you've had through sport and even through going on with your own business. Let's feel the magic, feel the love.
I don't know, you're tested at times, but I think it's just really just to stay focused, believe in what you're doing and work hard. Unfortunately, there's no magic to it. It really is, just comes down to hard work and really wanting to be the best at what you do.
It's interesting, I've met a few people, especially athletes, and they bring that desire to be the best at what they do into the professional world, right? We're thinking along the lines of, though, with Wozedu, where you have a situation where you can network with anyone you want really in the world. 1 billion brains are better than one. That's the punchline. Always remember that. You could have had the opportunity at a young age to interact with a Harvard scholar. I mean, surely that's something that you would have appreciated as a young man going into sport and the world of work.
Definitely. I mean, it goes back to the point I mentioned before about sharing experiences. And that can be with as an athlete, that can be with your fellow players, with your coaches, even networking with sponsors or the media. Again, experiences, are all about, in terms of learning and developing, and that's what it's about. And that's why I believe, Wozedu can do such great things for young people.
Ladies and gents, Steve White-Cooper, thank you very much.